Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert. This is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really appreciate that. I'm not sure, but I feel like Pinocchio tonight. I have a big nose. I'm not afraid to say what's wrong with me. There's many things wrong with me, as so far as it concerns my own, insecurities. And one of them is obviously this really big thing on my face called my nose. And I'm not ever sure, as I get older, if it's something that's going to get bigger or maybe it'll get smaller or, maybe all my white hair will turn back black or whatever color my hair is. During the summer, my hair is like a little bit more red than it is black. And then I always thought it was brown, but I just regardless, that's not what we're talking about tonight anyway. Tonight we're talking about literacy and its real need as a problem to address. And so to give you guys some of my background, right? And I do this anecdotally every so often, as it is like I'm a streamer that is a vlogger that talks about nothing, but in that same sort of good old spirit, offer a lot of nothing. When it comes to just like what I think about every single day, just trying to get by, telling my story, sharing my life from here on out. That's kind of the way that it is. But I do know that like my background is very, very, very much steeped in the advocation for or the promotion for literacy, like development and improvement. So I was the third youngest person in our nation's history to receive the AmeriCorps Alumni Award, which is an award given to you after you've completed 4,600 hours of federally recognized community service. And so I was able to accomplish this while I was still just in high school. And, my experience with that program was a federal program that subsidized literacy programs for disadvantaged youth. And so I was, felt like what was a part of like a pioneering program in that we would establish low income neighborhoods and then set up literacy centers in each one of these low income neighborhoods so that through reading we could empower what otherwise might be marginalized students, in that the quality of education they receive is not as good as what others may receive, and at no fault of the faculty, teachers, or administration of that particular low income school. And in fact, it's often at low income schools where staff, administrators, and teachers often do their best because that's where they're needed the most as it concerns the love and joy of just teaching, and especially teaching to younger disadvantaged youth who are going to be members of our society, and regardless of what their race, ethnic, or background culture is, to identify at an early age what the problems are so that they can be their best selves as it concerns the functionality of the importance of reading, like legit. And I'm going to start to get passionate about this because apparently the last 2 decades has been a part of a new kind of system that is being taught to help children read. It's like anti-phonics. It doesn't even matter what it is. This is an impromptu talk. One, I don't claim to know anything, and two, it's just an extemporaneous sort of speech on a topic that, again, I have no sources for. I'm just simply stating my opinion on. And that, like, as a 36-year-old person who advocated constantly and most of my life, like, and all of my life, including up to this age, for promoting literacy, like for amongst all children, like kids need to know how to read. This is really important. Like whether or not they should learn how to write or learn how to, cursive and all of the handwriting functions. I mean, that could be debatable, right? Because a lot of people use keyboards, a lot of people use different ways of writing as it would be or whatever. But like reading is simply not one of those things that we need to leave up to, AI or I mean, reading is a fundamental tool that is required to be your best self. And I truly mean that. I have had the experience, and again, like being so old now, like there is like if I could go back in time, I would do it all again and over a million times. Like helping kids learn how to read was like the best thing I could have ever done for my life in terms of like doing it for an entire decade, like, committing an entire 10 years of my life to like really, really trying to help, K through 5 students like have an opportunity in life because I'm trying to help them read. Not a teacher, not anything at all like that, but as an official literacy tutor and a literacy coordinator. That's what my job title was or whatever, within those different programs. But again, it had literacy in it, and our job was to teach kids how to read. Like, that was what it was. Like, you sat down with children for 4 hours every single day, and, you built like different, like activities and so forth. But the bottom line was trying to get children how to read using the phonics system, using sounding out letters, using like that kind of methodology to learn how to read. Apparently, that's not something that's taught to children nowadays. They are being taught in American Western public schools how to read in a way that makes zero sense. Just to kind of give you guys an idea, they're teaching children out here in the United States of America how to read based on association of words and pictures. Like I couldn't make that up. You feel me? I encourage you guys to do your own research, fact check everything I say. You feel me? Because like that's one of the cool things about me trying to be a public personality with y'all and sharing my life on the daily, and actually like practicing the things that like I preach and teach in a secular, non-religious, non-weird kind of a way, in that transparency and accountability and just being straight up honest are like always the best policies in life. You feel me? And so like that's just it. That's just the way I feel. Like I've made mistakes. Let's talk about them. Let's not. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. But like one of the things that I have zero regrets for at all, is like teaching kids how to read, because like now knowing that children don't even learn how to read the proper way is like even more meaningful to me, because we use the phonics system. When I grew up as a kid, honestly, I'm not sure how I figured out how to read. Like, and I mean that. Like, my mom always read to me. I started reading at a very, very early age. I started writing at a very early age. Like legit. Like that. Like I'm, like it was cool or whatever. But like, I definitely remember phonics in that, I never watched the school rock videos or whatever, but like phonics was sounding things out. It was more than just an apple that was an apple and you showed a word, and it's like, there was phonetics, you had to sound it out. There were syllables. I remember syllable games. Like, it's just learning how to read again is like 101. You have to teach your population how to read. Like, if you don't, you're straight up depriving them of like basic human rights. And those basic human rights they lead on every, like, so for example, here in America, when slavery was outlawed, and the biggest example I can give of this is Jim Crow laws, and that, African Americans, black people in this country, were not able to read, so thereby they were not able to understand their rights, and so thereby they were not able to like make any sort of, or no, like robbing people of their ability to read is straight up evil. Like, it's not good. And I don't understand why we would do it to our children. Like, I don't understand why we would do that to anybody. I just don't understand why we would lead people down a path that we know is straight up wrong. Like, again, like, what's more wrong? Doing that or knowing that you're doing it and doing it? Both of them are very terrible, but knowing that you're doing it and still doing it is the straight up definition of some weird, weird stuff. You feel me? Like culpability. Like like yeah, let's bring on let's the crab in the bucket effect straight up. You feel me? Like let's bring down every. It's like no, 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 no. Let's step back here a second and like try to fix what the last 20 years is undone as it concerns literacy amongst public school secondary students here in the United States of America. Please stop teaching our students how to read with pictures and words, thinking that somehow we're taught to read like, the good old algorithm is. I mean, we're not computers. You understand that, right? That like as much as we, have in common with these good old things that are making all of our lives both more complicated and more convenient all at the same time, right? I mean, it's a lot to think about. But what's really easy to think about is understanding that one of a very many handful of basic human rights is in modern world in modern time teaching children how to read and making sure they know how to read. Again, because it will benefit them, whether it's reading on a screen or doing something IRL that's a hybrid combo. Knowing how to read is knowledge is power. No, like teaching people how to read empowers them to be creative. It empowers them to have meaning in life, and to deprive somebody of that entire populations, like people in general, is again not just morally wrong, but like arguably criminal. It's just not something that should happen. And it's time that we like really start talking about this and really start moving away from this system that teaches our children how to read by associating words with pictures. It's as silly and insane as I literally say it out loud. That's straight up crazy talk. You feel me? I mean, like, legit. So, I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thank you for joining me. This is a show that's called Vlogs About Nothing. I stream 4 times a day. I will, I've said at least until the end of the year. But I feel like if this goes well, this is something that is going to be a part of my life forever. I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy making content. I really enjoy sharing my life with y'all, in the most accountable and transparent way that is possible. Because that's what I'm selling. Unfortunately, I'm not selling anything other than myself. And, I guess somebody like me would do that, as it concerns like IDGAF, I mean, people are going to judge me, whether or not I'm a server at a restaurant or a banker in a bank or, it doesn't matter what we do. And like, people are going to judge you. You feel me? And like, that's why I say IDJF. Like, this is what I'm doing. I enjoy doing this. And like, I don't ever really see me like, these 4 streams a day mean a lot to me. This is like my hour that I schedule for my own therapy to myself on the daily. And I enjoy every second of it. Like, so I do appreciate you guys like, being a part of this because at some point in the near future there'll be tens of thousands of people that are a part of this, and I say that with such conviction because it will happen. It will happen. It will happen. It will happen. This is what people do in life. They start somewhere and they end up somewhere else. It's just physics, I guess. But I hope that you guys have a really good night, and I just really thank you guys for being here with me at the beginning of the journey. Just because it means that much more. You know what I mean? So whether or not it's 1 view, 10, 50, 100 views, I really appreciate you guys, and I hope that you all have a wonderful night, all right? Bye.